Okay, fantastic.
Great.
Great. Thank you so much for being on my show.
It's delightful. I have not been to your country yet, but I do have many good friends from India, so I'm delighted. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. You've really, I think I'm really delighted to have you on my show because I know you're this really empowering lady, a really empowering personality. You've accomplished your own way of success as a global corporate trainer and etiquette expert to receiving the Einstein Award of, excellence. How has this journey been like for you with all these tremendous achievements?
Well, I started out and I was told as a child that girls are supposed to be seen and never heard. So that was a
Mm-hmm.
bad start. However, in my early 30s, I found my voice and I transformed myself, and it was so powerful and enriching, and just the freedom of it that I decided this was my career. So when people compliment me on that, I really know it's constant and never ending improvement. And that's what I try to share with them.
Sure, absolutely. So when you look back in hindsight, what do you think about all these massive accolades that have come along your way?
I feel humbled because I was never searching for that. I was searching for personal growth as well as making the world a better place. So I just feel blessed.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because I know you've your global career spans over 30 years now. Yes?
Yes, 38 years of training and coaching. And the adventure is about learning about other cultures. So, ironically, I learn as much as I teach. That is the joy.
True, absolutely, certainly. I think very aptly put, Lady Gloria. Thank you very much. Now, etiquette is an inseparable part of our lives. The way we display our actions decides for the way we make other people feel about us, right? So, what are the basic etiquette guidelines that we should be aware of, both considering the professional and personal setting?
Well, I believe that the smile is the most important aspect when you meet someone because it lowers the barriers and it brings up the trust. So a real smile starts in your heart, then it shows around your lips, and then around the eyes. And when the eyes are crinkly because you're smiling, they're really your positive attitude indicators rather than wrinkles. So we
True.
start with the smile, and you really want to watch in each of the different cultures. There's such a big difference between what is right and what is wrong. I noticed when I was in the Middle East that many men never even looked at me or acknowledged me. And I felt it was very rude. But the reality was they were showing me great respect.
Oh,
Very interesting. And no handshakes. It was just quite different. And I love learning things like that.
absolutely. I agree on that because also I hail from Tibet. So Tibetan culture is very different from Indian culture, even though it has a little influence, Tibet being a different country. But it's very interesting to, exchange these cultural behavioral patterns. Very interesting to learn how people behave in a social setting, and to be a part of that is, I think, also a type of knowledge, right? Because that's also education for us.
Yes, I think that type of knowledge is essential because even in my own country, which is Canada by birth, but the
Mhm.
global aspect by my energy and what I do, but every day I go to the stores and the grocery stores, and there are people from all different cultures. And I just, my heart is open and I want to learn from them. When I was very young, in fifth grade, I met so many different people, and some were from the Jewish culture, some were from India. And the very first girlfriend that I made from India, she taught me how to make the East Indian tea with the cinnamon sticks and the cloves. And I never forgot that. It was such a treat. So even when I'm in Dubai and the Mina Bazaar, which is my favorite place to shop, that they bring out that East Indian tea and all the wonderful memories come back.
You relish these memories.
Definitely. This is the highlight of my life. I was very bored in traditional school because it wasn't real. It was just one dimensional. But the minute you step outside your comfort zone and interact with people from other cultures, you get the best possible lesson in your whole life. So I'm never retiring.
I agree on that. Absolutely. Now, you've been in this industry for quite some time now, from training presidents of different countries and companies to the members of the royal family in the Middle East and Far East. Um, you've trained a huge array of people, a different bandwidth of people from different regions. Is this a mentally rewarding job?
Well, it was interesting because I never realized any of that was even a possibility. But with some marketing and a good website and interacting with people, they refer you and then you get contracts that you never would think of. Like training the Crown Prince of Dubai, I thought, oh, this is probably a fake request, but it wasn't. And I met him in New York for 5 days of training, and what a brilliant young man. And even when I was in China and hiking the Great Wall of China, working for Princess Cruise Lines, I was meeting people from all over the world. My very first contract in China years ago, maybe close to 20 years ago, my husband at that time was with me, and the Chinese gentleman handed him my paycheck. I was quite surprised, but things change and it's good to learn. Be receptive to all the differences in the cultures. It's never wrong, it's just different.
Yes, yes, I think that's true. It's never wrong because I think when you are open to learning from different cultures, you have a multidimensional perspective.
Yes, it's the best
Yeah,
education ever, and I'm studying that constantly. So I believe learning should be ongoing forever, and you must not ever stop learning because there's so many wonderful aspects of it. When I was growing up, my mother was a photographer with National Geographic. So we learned the beauty of nature and identifying the different calls of the birds and the different flowers. So that was a marvelous gift. So I do watching a lot of things about the culture in all the different countries, especially as soon as I know I'm been invited to go there.
okay, absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about impressions because I believe we all have this notion of first impressions, but deciphering the code of first impressions can be tricky. Now, we all understand how important personal image is, but we don't realize the impact it has on our lives. How can one go about finding their own personal brand image?
Well, I think it's better to select a professional that can coach you. For example, many executives are doing professional speaking engagements and working within their company, and they are a spokesperson. So they don't even realize the differences. So they may have their chin below the level, which is defiant, and or above, which could be very prideful. But you want to slow down your motions, burst the energy out of your spirit so that the voice has a positive energy to it, and slow down your speaking because people want to catch every single word. So with a gentleness but a power base, and it's something that you practice until you get good at it. I remember the first time I spoke at a conference, I was sick to my stomach in the ladies' room prior to that, and I thought, what on earth am I doing? And now I realize it's your voice, it's your passion, and it's a gift to be invited to speak at a conference or even interact with someone because you're building bridges. I like to think
True.
of myself as an ambassador for myself, my company, and my country. And that opens my heart to all of the wonderful differences.
True. True. 100% true. Now, what would be your master advice for young and aspiring corporate trainers and etiquette experts trying to make a mark in the industry that you've already succeeded so much?
The first thing I would say to them, never give up. You need to be so committed that it consumes you. You must be learning all of the time and observing others, watching and deciding how you can be the best. But devour knowledge, and you've got to get out there and practice. The thing that turned my career around in the beginning was as I started teaching evening classes at the local colleges. Now, it wasn't a big paycheck, but everyone in those classes worked somewhere, and they got to know me, like me, and trust me. And then they referred me to their company HR and executives. And that's how I started getting the corporate bookings, because I didn't even know that existed when I first started. I just wanted to work with small groups. But the reality was, you want to give the best you've got to the people that can expand it further. So reach their heads and reach their hearts.
Yes. And I think a lot of people also suffer with confidence. And
Yes,
being confident is actually not an external thing, but a very internal thing. It's an internal process, right? So over the course of years, did you ever feel like you were not confident? Were there any encounters as such?
absolutely true, 100%. And the solution for that, that I found for me, I looked in the mirror every morning and I would say, you are beautiful. You are stunning. You are simply amazing. And everyone you meet today is going to love and adore you and recommend you for your work. And so you have a self-talk. Anything negative, you slap your hands and say, negative, go away, and just jump right up. I am invincible. That's what I would recommend.
Yes, I think a lot of people who right now watching this really need to take back something noteworthy what Lady Gloria Starr just mentioned. You should always think that you are invincible. You can do this and you're beautiful. So change your self-talk. It's very important to do that. Very pivotal for all of us to do that. Now, you've had your own success in the industry that you're in. What are your principles of success? Because the guests that we've had on the Tenzin show have had their own definition of success and their own principles of success. I'm very inquisitive to know what are yours?
I believe that I'm successful if my clients make the change. If they open their heart to accepting the differences in the cultures, I'm really big on that, and not making others wrong, just different. So looking for the goodness in them versus something that might not be quite so good, and encouraging them to step up and add value to their group of people. And it's like this wonderful wave, and it makes the world better. So step up and contribute. Stop complaining, just start contributing.
Yes, because I know a lot of people can be reluctant to change. And it's very
Yes.
difficult. And a coach like Lady Gloria cannot help you if you're not open to learning, if you're not open to change. So if you're not ready and prepared and you have your own preconceived notions, then nothing's going to happen. There's no change that is going to certainly happen. So you have to take that first step right now. And if you're someone who is looking to enhance your overall image, you need to get that polish. You need to prepare yourself to face the world and lead the world with success. Here is Lady Gloria Starr. Please reach out to her. Her services are incredible, as you know that she's had tremendous success in her own way, carved her own way of success in the industry, the niche that she is in today. Thank you so much, Lady Gloria, for joining us with us here and giving us some really valuable insights on etiquette, on your work that you've done. Thank you so very much for your time.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.